The Knicks lead 91-79 as we start the fourth quarter. They have been nearly unbeatable when they have a lead heading into the fourth.
C.J. McCollum in his villain arc puts Atlanta up. Brunson to tie the game, and he does!
Ice cold.
Hawks looking to run. Johnson slams it home. Atlanta has its largest lead.
You got to play better with the lead. That's twice in the fourth quarter now that we've done that.
Atlanta comes all the way back and ties the series.
So, after that thriller last night at the Garden at DraftKings Sportsbook, they still have the Knicks as the favorites to win the series, but not nearly as heavily so. Games 3 and 4 coming up in Atlanta. New York 9-2 in their last 11 games at the Hawks. Meanwhile, another great game last night. Timberwolves and Nuggets. Anthony Edwards looking to even up the series against that man, the Joker. I've got Allen. I've got Monica. Just over 5 minutes left in the second quarter. Look at Edwards, Monica, getting into the painted area and hanging in the air.
Yes, indeed. Ready for the contact. Probably could have got the hoop and the harm there, although I'm glad that was a no call.
Final seconds of the half. There's no reason we'd show it to you if it didn't go in. Jamal Murray with the heave to tie it. So we're all even at 64. Going to the second half. Such a good rivalry between these teams. Games always good. Nuggets down 2 in the third. We got Jokic, Allen from the outside.
He had a big third quarter, dominating this game, and then all of a sudden, somebody pulled the plug on him in the fourth quarter.
He had 16 in that third. Nuggets had a 3-point lead going to the fourth, but as you say, Jokic couldn't get it going in the final period. Misses there. Now let's stay with the play. DiVincenzo, Jaden McDaniels is all alone under the basket. Minnesota, a 1-point lead. Next Denver possession, still a 1-point game. Jokic again, no good.
Short.
DiVincenzo out in front of the field.
Yeah, and this is, again, who had more energy? It was the road team. Normally the road team suck and win in the fourth quarter, but Denver was in this game.
And watch his Gobert.
Give me that!
Here.
Oh.
Over Jokic, Minnesota by 4. Now, Jokic would be 1 of 7 from the floor in the fourth quarter. Here's the one, and it's pretty emphatic, slamming it in the face of Rudy Gobert. But 1 for 7 is 1 for 7. Nuggets get within 2. 15 seconds left. Nuggets down by 3. Murray, no. DiVincenzo. Let's go the other way. DiVincenzo with a dagger slam. T-Wolves win it by 5. And I need a happy A-Rod cutaway. Give me A-Rod happy. There we go. Hugs. Timberwolves with the win. So off that win, let's run the floor, starting with that game. Allen, does Minnesota now have the edge in that series, tied at 1, heading back home?
I'm not going to give him the edge because Denver still has the best player in the series, and that's Nikola Jokic. You can't imagine he's going to have back-to-back poor finishes. He had a strong game up until that fourth quarter. Gobert had it for once against him one-on-one. Defensively, yes, Minnesota knows what they need to do against Denver, but can they replicate this again? They're going home, and Anthony Edwards has his energy back.
The early game last night, Monica, the Cavs defending home court. They beat Toronto 115-105. They have a 2-0 series lead. You think the world is sleeping on Cleveland in the Eastern Conference?
I do not think that the world is sleeping on Cleveland. I think Cleveland is getting the respect that they were due. Most teams that were in a position to get Toronto wanted Toronto because they have struggled this year. So Cleveland taking care of business, good on them, but I'm not going to be overly impressed with this, the way they've played against Toronto so far.
And then finally, we've got the pivotal game 2 tonight between the Lakers and Rockets. Houston needs a win to tie it up. Kevin Durant, a game-time decision. Allen, what do the Lakers need from LeBron James if they're going to take a commanding 2-0 lead?
Well, more of the same of what he did in game 1, which is not as much scoring with 19 points, the facilitating, the passing. It helps, of course, that they did not want to guard Luke Kennard, who went crazy in that game, knocking down threes. They got a good game from Ayton as well. But for LeBron James, in this game, even with KD back and a little compromise, can he reach back and give you a 30-point performance, which actually he did against Houston back in March?
Monica, what does the KD injury mean for this series? It was billed as LeBron versus KD, and LeBron was the one who didn't have any help, and it was much too easy for the Rockets. And then suddenly out goes KD with a knee injury that he suffers in practice, and all bets are off. Where do we stand?
Our good friend Mike Wilbon used the word neophytes earlier talking about the Atlanta Hawks. I mean, this is essentially what you're also looking at in Houston without KD and that experience, right? You already lost Van Vliet for the season. Steven Adams, a guy who has that experience. There's not much more depth there, not to mention that this only adds another layer to your point guard issues without KD because he is someone who is a hub offensively and can direct and get those guys in order for the Rockets. I'm not going to put it out of the realm of possibility for something to happen because, to Han's point, you're asking a lot of LeBron James in a series, which is a shortened time period. But if there's no KD, I don't think the Houston's going to get out of this.
Yeah, KD's still listed as questionable for the game. Now, again, it's a knee contusion, right? So they're saying he can play through the pain. The problem is his mobility. And that's what they're worried about. Will he have the ability to play defense? Will he have the ability to get open in a playoff game against tougher defense? So that's something to watch. But if you're him, you know you've got to play in this game.
These two have only ever met in the finals when it comes to the postseason because they played in opposite conferences for most of their careers. So we're looking forward to one more, head-to-head between these two guys. Yeah. So far, we haven't had the chance to get it. And as far as the time is concerned, the time frame, the schedule makers did them a little bit of a favor. Did LeBron a little bit of a favor, right? They play Saturday, then not till Tuesday, then not till Friday. So lots of time off for his 41-year-old body to sort of get itself back together.
By his own admission, it takes him a little bit longer to get warmed up these days. So, yes, that is fortuitous to him, but in the same breath, it is for KD as well if the Houston can avoid getting into a hole that they cannot get out of.
Yeah, he can get into the cryo chamber one day and then get a practice in the next day and still play. We have 12 days to Game 7.
Right.
So this is going to be a really long series.
You got to get to the Game 7.
But if you can extend it, that opens up a lot of time. Now, the whole idea of getting Luka back perhaps might be a shot in the dark because he's not really moving around at all yet in practice, which tells you it's still going to be a week, maybe even two, before you can see him possibly play in a game.
Winner of this round will get the most likely, would be, I was about to say the winner of the OKC series. Let's just put OKC in the next round. So the winner of this one will get OKC in the next round. We'll see how that turns out. More hoops as we go. Back to the NFL. A game
That Tuesday means game twos across the NBA playoffs. We got the good ones. 7 Eastern, we got the Sixers and Celtics. Well, good for Boston. They lead 1-0 in the series after a 32-point win Sunday. Largest win in a playoff opener in the franchise's history. For Philly, Joel Embiid's health remaining the biggest question in that series after that appendectomy in Houston. Then at 8, it's the Trailblazers and Spurs. They tip things off. Victor Wembanyama put on a show in his playoff debut, becoming the first player in playoff history to debut with 35 points and 5 triples made. And then in the nightcap, it's the Rockets. Will try to even up the series against the Lakers. Kevin Durant will be a game-time decision after missing Game 1 with a right knee contusion at 37 years young. Let's talk about it. Perk back on the program, and let's start, Perk, right there with the Rockets and the Lakers. Houston failing to reach 100 points in Game 1. How do they generate more offense in Game 2 tonight, especially if they don't have KD for another game?
Well, one, they got to hang their hats on the defensive side and get back to their identity and getting stops. But number 2, they got to go run their offense through Alfred Sengun and hope that they can make shots Alfred Sengun is one of the most promising bigs that we have in the game for its upside, and they got to continue to feed him. But overall, they got to get it done collectively. From Tari Eason, getting stops, getting out in transition and running. Their defense got to transition to their offense and easy buckets. That's the only way that they're going to have a shot to winning this game without Kevin Durant.
Speaking of promising bigs in the Western Conference, I think Victor Wembanyama checks that box as well. An impressive playoff debut. This his 3rd season, 35 points in Game 1. That is the most by a Spurs player in their playoff debut, previously held by Tim Duncan. What impressed you most about Wemby's performance in Game 1, Perk?
Well, the thing that has impressed me the most, not just in Game 1, but throughout the course of this season, is his growth. Being a big man and with guard skills, he has now embraced actually being a big man and being dominant. We saw in Game 1 that he was attacking the paint at first, finding ways to get to the basket, and then all of a sudden it opened up things for him on the outside, and that's the Wemby that you love, right? You want him to find that balance of inside out offensively. We know what kind of player he is defensively. That's why he got the Defensive Player of the Year award. But offensively, if he's going to dominate that in that fashion and have that balance, then it's going to be hell and hot water, not only in this series, but for the rest of the playoffs for everybody that he faces.
And it's interesting, I think you mentioned it and Wendy mentioned it. It wasn't even like a standard Wemby game because he had 35 points, but only in his standards, 5 boards and 1 assist. He normally averages nearly 12 boards a game. All right, to a player that's not in the playoffs this season, Perk, that would be Giannis. He posted this last night. Let's read between the lines. Year 13, this has been one of the toughest seasons of my career, but as they say, like a phoenix from the ashes, pregnant pause on purpose there, I'll rise. To the city of Milwaukee, my city, thank you for the unwavering love and support. Feels like a goodbye. I don't know, Perk. What do you make of what Giannis hit the internet with last night?
At this point, I don't even care. Like I'm over the top. No, seriously, I'm over the top with Giannis and the whole Milwaukee situation, man. I mean, like that whole situation is dysfunctional. It's confusing. Giannis don't really know if he's going or coming. At this point, if he stays in Milwaukee, good for him. If he don't, good for him. I don't even give a damn.
That reminds me of that meme that's like, congratulations, or I'm sorry that happened to you. I'm not reading all that. I'm not giving that any more attention. You're going to do what you're going to do, and either congratulations or I'm sorry that happened. Kendrick Perkins, we're always thankful for you, sir.
Let's take a